I've got a question. I've always wondered, why are eggs so good? There's so many different ways to make them. Scrambled, poach, soft boiled, hard boiled. Now there's a plane flying over. Let me take a pause. Okay, now that that plane's almost gone out of the airspace, where was I? Oh yeah, there's so many different ways to cook eggs. I think I've listed quite a few. These eggs today are going to be taking 2 dips. The first one in water, the second one in oil. Right after it's coated in sausage and breadcrumbs. You know what I'm making from the thumbnail. Today, we're whipping up some Scotch eggs. Let's turn up the heat. Roll it. To start, you want to get some water boiling. Once that water comes to a boil, go ahead and add 4 eggs to this hot water. Once these eggs get dropped in that hot water, start that timer and run it for 4 minutes and 30 seconds. And one by one, get these eggs out of that hot water and into an ice bath. This egg cracked as soon as it dropped into the hot water. When that shell cracks, some of that egg just squeaks out. It might make the egg lopsided. I don't really know, but to err on the side of caution, I threw in an extra egg just to kick that one out and replace it. As soon as these eggs got tossed into the water, I took them and stuck them in the freezer. Give these just a crush on each side. Begin to peel, being very, very careful of that egg white because it's going to be barely done. This water is just going to help this shell come off, and then eventually, piece by piece, your egg should be naked, super soft, barely cooked, and right there is what you're looking for. Look at that jiggle. This sausage that's coating this egg is going to be jazzed up with all different kinds of flavors, starting with some parsley, and all you're going to be doing is taking about 1/8 cup. Simply bunch this up and begin to chop. Now bring in a bowl and add 1 pound of ground pork. Take your parsley, drop it in. Now comes in all the goodies. 1 teaspoon of ground sage, 1/8 teaspoon of nutmeg, a pinch of allspice, 1 teaspoon of fresh cracked pepper, a 1/2 tablespoon of brown sugar, 1/8 teaspoon of cayenne pepper, a 1/2 tablespoon of Dijon mustard, 1 teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce, a 1/2 tablespoon of salt, and now don't be shy, get right in there with your hands and begin to mix. And once your meat is mixed, give it some slaps, let it know who's boss, and let this chill. Now it's time to wrap up these eggs. Get some plastic wrap down. Take about 1/4 of your meat mixture, break it up into about 4 even balls, just so you have an idea of what you're working with. Slap it down and begin to press this out. Press it out to about 2.5 to 3 times the size of the egg, about 1/4 inch thick. Bring in your eggs. Very carefully plop it into the center and begin to fold your meat around the egg, being very careful and super aware of how much pressure you put on this egg because it will burst. And just like that, perfect little egg. Oh, look how cute he is. Perfectly surrounded. Oh man, this is gonna be so good. Place your egg down and repeat this with all the other eggs. Now for the breading process, crack 2 eggs, Add a splash of water, flour, and panko breadcrumbs with a nice sprinkle of salt. Kill those yolks, give it some whiskey business. One by one, flour, covering the entire thing into the egg wash. And into the panko. We're going to get a double crust on this, back into the egg wash, and back into the panko. Complete this process with all the other eggs, and once your eggs are completely coated, get that oil up to temp around 400 degrees, get one of your eggs, and just roll them right in. The first two that I just made are ruined, basically. This is cooked for about a minute at 400 degrees. It's almost burnt. This isn't where I want it. The pork isn't even going to be done. I'm going to lower this oil from 400 degrees to about 325 or 350. Cook the other two, and we'll see how those turn out. This one's cooking up a lot nicer. Look at that, nice and golden brown. This one's going to be good. So I learned my lesson. 400 degrees, way too hot. Bring it down to around 350. That's your sweet spot. And once those eggs are dropped, cook them for around 6 minutes. Now that I know my oil is good to go, I'm going to drop in this other egg. After about 6 minutes, perfect. Compared to this one that was cooked for like a minute, you can clearly see a difference. This one's much nicer and it's going to be fully cooked. Well, I started with 4 and I ended with 2. That's all right. Some mistakes happen. I make the mistakes so you don't have to. Now we're going to cut into this egg. That's a good sign right there. Wow. Look at that. That's perfect. If this doesn't get your mouth watering, I don't know what will. You've seen it already. I'll show it to you one more time. That right there, that's a pretty thing. Now the fact that there's no yolk left in there, completely cleared out. You gotta give it a dip into the yolk that ran out. There we go. Got some more yolk on there. Oh yeah. Are you kidding me? What the heck? This is so good. It's a full-on meal within itself. And what's a full meal without a vegetable? My kind of full meal. This is delicious. I'm gonna eat this whole thing. I'm gonna finish it. The other one, I guess I'll save. I might not be able to. I might just eat this thing right now. If you like this video, give it a big fat thumbs up. I would definitely recommend this. It's not too hard. It comes together very easy, very quick. It's simple. This is perfect. Smash that subscribe button. And until next time, peace.